Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Find Your Model Health, the official podcast for those looking to optimize their long-term health and weight goals and understand how their body really works. I am your host. I am Shemaine Looney. I'm a fitness and nutrition expert, certified iridologist and biohacker, and I'm very happy to have you back with me for episode 223. Can't believe I have recorded over 200 episodes. It's crazy how fast time flies. I hope you're all keeping really well. It's been very windy and rainy and stormy and everything in Airdrie and Calgary and around Alberta for the last few days. There's reports of flooding, so be careful everyone. Hopefully the sun comes back soon and the grass will be greener and the crops will be healthier because of all the rain. So this week we are looking at hair tissue mineral analysis testing. You may or may not have heard of this, but I want to discuss it a bit because I do get questions, and it is a practice of testing that I'm a huge fan of. So before I go on, I must remind you that the information in these podcast episodes is not to be taken as medical advice and should be taken for informational purposes only. Please consult your health practitioner before making any lifestyle changes. Okay, let's get to it. So a lot of people have heard about minerals. They know that minerals are good for them, but people don't understand that minerals can be toxic in a sense if you have too much or too little. Even good minerals like zinc and copper, they can mess you up if they're in the wrong ratio or if you're having a hard time detoxifying or excreting them. And finding this balance and testing to see have you got this ratio, this is something I get asked a lot. People always ask me about testing. And when I talk about minerals and mineral imbalances in my Facebook groups or whatever, people will say, and which doctor will do this? And what do I ask for? And how do I get this tested? Well, to test is very easy. You would get a hair mineral analysis test done, and then you would have someone interpret it for you. So a hair mineral analysis test, firstly, it gives a long-term reading that's unaffected by recent meals or activities or stress or any sort of emotional state that you're in, unlike going for a blood test or a urine test might. And then it also gives us an idea of a 3-month period, whereas if you get a blood test, that's showing you the there and the then, the there and now, excuse my English. So a blood test can be influenced by what many people know of white coat syndrome, where we can get anxiety and stress in the presence of a doctor or someone who's about to take our blood. Maybe we're scared of needles, maybe we just don't like doctors, but your blood test or blood pull can be affected by that. Urine testing can be a bit better because you're peeing in the cup yourself, but it also can give us a view of a few days more than just that intermediate time of the urination. But a hair mineral analysis test, that gives us really a view of the last 3 months and what's been happening in your body in regards to minerals and toxicity and heavy metals and things like that. So a hair mineral analysis test, it reveals your mineral deficiencies or imbalances along with any sort of heavy metal toxicity too. And a lot of doctors won't test for heavy metal toxicity. So this can be a really great test for people. And hair mineral analysis will reveal, and depending on your practitioner and who's interpreting it, it'll explain the causes of some of the health symptoms and issues that you might be experiencing or that you might experience down the line. So it can really be quite effective to get your hair tested, and it's non-invasive. You can do it at home and then you just send it off. So it's pretty easy. Your hair can be tested because it is one of the many places the body eliminates or detoxifies minerals and heavy metals. And the individual mineral levels or ratios of these minerals to each other and patterns of minerals, they get deposited in the hair, and that can reveal all kinds of things about your body and your health conditions and the symptoms or biomarkers that you're experiencing. So nutrient mineral levels and their ratios, they determine how well your cells work and function and how resilient they are and your performance on all levels. So it's not just in your hair. This is from your physical to your mental to your cognitive performance. And by testing, when someone wants to test their hair through a hair mineral analysis, the goal generally is to correct imbalances, to understand them, and then use the results on the HMAT or hair testing mineral analysis as a guide, and use that information to help then optimize any issues that the body is experiencing. So most of us know at this stage, I would hope most of my followers and students and listeners would know, at this stage it's very easy to have imbalances in your body. We're constantly exposed to toxins and chemicals and other stressors in our environment. Then we have the emotional stressors. We have work, we have relationships, we have kids. Then most people are turning to some sort of stimulant to get them through the day, like coffee or an energy drink. And then in the evening, we're using alcohols or some sort of sedative to relax. So we know that these substances affect our biochemistry, but they also create these imbalances. They create biochemical chaos, which then, of course, leads to all types of undesirable health outcomes. And this is the majority of what I get phone calls over and requests is I have no energy, I have no motivation, I feel terrible all the time, I feel terrible in my body, I'm constantly tired, but I'm not sleeping well, I know my nutrition is wrong, but I don't know what to do, and so on and so on. So having the tool of a hair mineral analysis test can really help us address these all these symptoms on a deeper level by being able to see where the minerals are maybe deficient, where we have imbalances, where we're not excreting them, but also if we have any heavy metal overload or toxicity in our body. But that's not all. Hair mineral analysis is basically a screening test. When it's properly interpreted, a hair mineral analysis can not only reveal those mineral imbalances and toxicity, but can also provide you with a picture of other aspects of your health, like your metabolic rate, so your metabolism. And this would mean the practitioner, if they interpret the test results correctly and read them correctly, then they will be able to determine metabolic rate, if there maybe is adrenal fatigue, thyroid function, nervous system imbalances, so central nervous system issues. Are you in fight or flight, or are you in rest and repair, or are you totally burnt out? Protein synthesis, inflammation, energy levels, mental health issues, liver and kidney issues. This is a big thing with people. Even your carbohydrate tolerance and blood sugar imbalances can be somewhat detected or interpreted on the hair mineral analysis test. And there is the potential that you could reveal if somebody is going to have severe mental health issues too. So you can see, those of you that follow me, what I've just listed there: adrenal fatigue, metabolism, central nervous system, inflammation, energy. All of this stuff is the stuff that I talk about and post about regularly. So you could see why I would be very passionate about a test like this. And because it's easy, it's non-invasive, and you can do it at home. This is an area that I am moving into. I've only mentioned it a few times to certain people, but I might as well mention it here to hold myself accountable. I do hope to be offering this testing soon because of all these reasons, because I constantly get people sending me their blood panels and their thyroid panels and numbers, and it's not enough. People need more. I do get sent Dutch tests as well, but people want something that's easier, but dare I say, people trust me, like my people trust me. So they want me directly helping them in regards to testing and reading. And I'm happy to do that. But this, along with some other testings, is the path that I feel I'm moving towards, or I'm being called to move towards. So I speak about minerals a lot. Minerals are essential for well-being. Minerals are involved in almost all enzymatic reactions in the body. So enzymes, as I describe to my clients and followers, they're like little Pac-Men, just thousands of little Pac-Men. I've done a couple of episodes on enzymes recently. Go back and check them out. But enzymes are little Pac-Men in that they go around the body and they help catalyze and clean things up and make everything work better. Without enzymes, life does not exist. So minerals, and that would include your electrolytes, so those are your minerals with a higher charge, these are essential for enzymatic activity. Therefore, minerals are essential for life. Most people know like nutrition and sleep and all this is essential for good health, but they overlook the mineral aspect of things. And I do speak about this a lot when I'm looking at hydration and energy and flushing the bowels or anything like that. You have to make sure your minerals are balanced and replenished. And a lot of the times that can really help solve the majority of health issues people have and attempt to correct themselves in other ways. Just adding in some sea salt can make a big difference. But anyway, I digress. So the hair analysis, the graph will show your practitioner a list of minerals like calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium, copper, manganese, iron, zinc, selenium, chromium, lots more. So all these minerals are necessary for proper functioning of the body, the organs, the tissues, the hormones, pretty much everything. Now we can metastasize, which means store minerals in organs where they can be helpful, but also where they're not supposed to be, and they'll prevent proper function. But we also need to replenish a lot of minerals. Like the adrenal glands, they will store magnesium, and that's where we want magnesium when we're in times of stress, but the adrenals will burn through magnesium very fast. So we need to make sure that we're replenishing magnesium. Whereas there's other forms of minerals that needs to be detoxified. Otherwise, they're going to start causing problems in the body, like I think a lot of people know at this stage that excess zinc can depress copper absorption, and copper is needed for iron utilization, or a high intake of calcium that downregulates intestinal zinc absorption as well. So you can see where it's very important to have this kind of balance or state of homeostasis between everything. Otherwise, we can have adverse effects upon our health. So some causes of mineral imbalances, stress would be my number one thing. Stress for sure. Stress depletes minerals and B vitamins very, very fast. Most notably magnesium, which is why when we're in a stress state, we might experience spasms or heart palpitations or twitching of the muscles or the eyelids or the lips or cramping, because the stress has depleted the magnesium. The magnesium is a muscle and tissue relaxant, so we get all these symptoms. But stress does cause the adrenals to burn through magnesium fast, like I mentioned, but also zinc, which is why after times of stress, people can get sick or they can have an illness. They might get a chest infection or a head cold or something because they're burnt out from stress and they've depleted their minerals. So it's very important to understand minerals play a really important part in your health and your body. Then other factors would be, like I mentioned, dehydration or flushing your bowels. Hydration is very important for keeping a balance of minerals in the body in regards to the sodium potassium pump, but also other minerals. So you guys know I speak about mineral water a lot and how mineral water is one of the best ways to get minerals into your body. It's very bioavailable. You're getting your minerals in ionic form. And if you're sipping on the likes of San Pellegrino across the day, you're getting a steady drip of minerals. If you're dehydrated, though, you're going to affect the balance of the minerals. But also, if you're flushing your body with any sort of diuretic or anything to help you maybe have a bowel movement, if you've constipation, or even if you just ate something that didn't agree with you and you get diarrhea, that's what I would call flushing the bowels. And when you do that, you lose a lot of water and minerals, and that causes an imbalance as well. So some other things can be those toxic metals and chemicals. They can affect the enzyme binding sites where minerals would normally bind. And when they bind there, they block mineral absorption. So that's a big one. And we are exposed to toxins and chemicals everywhere and anywhere nowadays. Then chronic and viral infections. That, of course, is going to be a stressor on the body, but also if you get some sort of virus or infection that's going to increase your temperature, give you a fever and the chills, you're going to sweat a lot. That also is going to be a big stressor again on your body. So you're going to lose a lot of minerals through sweat. We lose a lot of copper through sweat. People generally don't get a lot of copper in their diet. Copper is needed for iron utilization. Loads of people reckon they have iron issues or anemia. I did a podcast on this 2 weeks ago, I think. Go check it out. But you can see where it's all connected there. And then there's other things like just drinking tap water that might have added chlorine or aluminium, or you call it aluminum. I call it aluminium, fluoride, and sometimes other stuff like hormones and antibiotics. These can all cause toxicity and deplete minerals as well. A common question I get around the whole hydration and water thing is I'm using a reverse osmosis machine in my house. Do I need to remineralize my water? And I'm always like, yeah, just add some sea salt, maybe a little bit of lemon. You could even add a little bit of iodine if you want. Those are good choices. And then we've also got, most people will not recognize their unhealthy lifestyle patterns or habits. Most people sleep terrible. Before I go on to anything else, most people sleep terrible. Poor sleep or not getting enough sleep or not getting good sleep quality, that is going to be very inflammatory. That's going to be a big stressor on the body. That will directly influence how your body is managing and utilizing minerals. Then, if you're not exercising or you're exercising too much, that's going to affect minerals. If you don't exercise at all, we've got a problem there, because you're not moving fluids and minerals around the body through circulation, through the fascia. And then if you're if you're not exercising, chances are you're not panting or sweating, so you're not supporting detoxification, which will contribute to an imbalance. And then if you're exercising too much, you might be losing too many minerals. If you're fasting, you might be losing a lot of minerals. If you have other unhealthy habits, like poor nutrition, you eat a lot of junk food or carbs, you could be retaining too many minerals in the kidneys, in the liver. Like there's a lot that can contribute to mineral imbalances. Now, I'm going to throw in this caveat that people who get a hair mineral analysis, they're generally going to be people who are already very serious about their health and want to be proactive. So we could assume that someone that does not take care of their health and it's not a priority, they're going to have these imbalances regardless if we test or not. But the people who pay for something like this, who ask me to test for something or even interpret results they've already got, these people already take their health quite seriously. So they are going to be proactive on the results in any way. So hair mineral analysis, as I mentioned, can help us detect heavy metal toxicity or toxic overload in the body. Hair mineral analysis is in itself a toxicology screen of sorts for metals like uranium, lead, mercury. People talk a lot about mercury, but we've also got cadmium, arsenic, aluminum or aluminium, and nickel. So no tests, including urine or blood tests, can show all of your heavy metal toxicities. But a hair test can give you a pretty accurate idea, because that's where we're mobilizing these heavy metals for excretion. So in this regard, hair mineral testing is a reliable indicator of toxicity and can be helpful in monitoring the detoxification process as well, and any progress that's being made. You could be getting your hair tested every 6 months to see. 6 to 9 months is a good idea. It gives you a good idea of how much progress you're making or how things are improving. So we want to be aware of toxicity, because they can cause so many issues, like copper, I mentioned, with iron utilization and transportation around the body. When we don't have proper iron utilization, then we can experience fatigue, weight gain, PMS, endometriosis, depression, anxiety, bipolar, migraines, cravings, insulin resistance, adrenal fatigue, like all this sort of stuff from not having proper copper ratios in the body. And the same with iron. Mercury, most people have some sort of mercury toxicity. I did get all of my mercury fillings removed maybe 2 years ago. And I was conscious of using binders and stuff to make sure that I was detoxifying properly. But mercury toxicity can also come from consuming fish as well. And there's other stuff in the atmosphere that will expose you to mercury. Mercury toxicity is associated with adrenal dysfunction, thyroid. Thyroid is the big one for mercury and heavy metal toxicity. Depression, dizziness, fatigue, insomnia, gut issues, kidney damage, mood swings, numbness and tingling, neuropathy. So there's a lot there. And then aluminum or aluminium is the most common element on the Earth's crust. So chances of you having an overload of aluminium in your body is pretty high. Aluminium has been found to be associated with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. Now, sorry, I have to correct myself. Aluminium overload or toxicity has been found to be associated with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and other forms of dementia, anemia because it can affect iron, and other blood disorders, fatigue, kidney and liver dysfunctions. So we need to take this stuff seriously. And this is why I'm hoping to be able to offer this testing. Because most doctors and health practitioners, they think that hair mineral analysis is only showing simple mineral and metal levels, and that the accuracy and validity of these tests is grossly underestimated and misunderstood. There's actually 40 years of research behind hair tissue mineral analysis. If I didn't think it was worth it, I wouldn't do it. But most of my followers know that I'm very passionate about helping where I can, and I'm not going to recommend something that I don't think is a good idea. So in all, a hair mineral analysis can give us a look or a preview into your state of health. Over a 3-month period of time, we can figure out if there's any mineral imbalances, deficiencies, how the ratios are, the toxicity, and then also interpret all those other things I mentioned in regards to metabolism, inflammation, thyroid, even mental health issues. And then it could give us a preview into your future health state, because if we address these imbalances before they manifest symptoms or cause problems, then we can hopefully prevent illnesses down the line. So a hair mineral analysis will hopefully give you a place to begin and help you and your practitioner create a plan to improve and continue to optimize your plan for your health in the current and in the future. So if you're interested in getting a hair mineral analysis, I'll say watch this space. Keep an eye on my social media platforms. I haven't got a set date yet because I'm working on a few different things in regards to providing testing to my clients. But I really do think that this will help everyone improve their performance, vitality, energy, overall feeling of wellness and well-being. And yeah, watch this space. I hope you found this information enlightening, helpful. If you've any questions or want any links to any research around hair mineral analysis testing or anything I've said, reach out to me. I'll be happy to send you them as well. Everything I say, I'll be happy to send you the research that I'm looking at. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, my website, shemainsmodelhealth.com. But have a great day. If you haven't subscribed to my podcast already, please do. And please share with anyone you think might find this information helpful, even maybe your doctor or your other health practitioner that's not fully aware of the benefits of this type of test. So take care, everyone. I'll chat to you guys really, really soon. Bye-bye.